Hey guys, welcome back to my show. Today we got something kind of interesting. This is off of the Chilling Scares channel. I'm pretty sure I've reacted to something off this channel already. We did the what was that video that we did? Anyway, I know I've reacted to this channel before, but today we're going to be watching urban legends that turned out to be true. Oh, that's right. We ended up watching the disturbing VHS or tapes that were kind of like really kind of effed up. So I'm going to put a disclaimer. I don't know what to expect in this video either. So like I said, this is going to be off the same channel, the Chilling Scares channel. And we're going to be watching urban legends that turned out to be true. I love urban legends. Like, urban legends would be like Sasquatch and the Yeti and the Chupacabra. You know what I mean? That kind of stuff. We don't know if any of that's even true. I kind of would like to believe that Bigfoot's real. I believe Godzilla's real. Like, wouldn't that... actually, you know what? I don't know if that'd be a good thing or a bad thing. But, like, honestly, it'd be kind of cool if Godzilla was real. As long as he stays over there, as long as he leaves me alone and I can still live my life and he doesn't destroy my house and any of the buildings that I usually find necessary in my area, good to go. But, yeah, no, we're going to be reacting to some urban legend stuff today. Again, like and subscribe to my YouTube channel, guys. Let's get going. Let's do this. All right, guys, here we go. So this is, like I said, this is the urban legends that turned out to be true. I'm excited. Like I said, I love urban legends. I love conspiracy theories. Like, it's just, I think this video is going to be a lot of fun. I do not know what to expect in this video, so I'm going to put a disclaimer. This might be crazy. This might be violent. This might be absolutely terrifying. I don't know. Because I did that for the last video, which was the found footage videos. That turned out to be a little bit more extreme than I actually thought it was going to be. But I have no idea what to expect in this one. But if it gets creepy, I can't say I didn't warn you. But let's see what happens, guys. Let's dive into this. Let's see what goes on.
West Hobart Haunted House.
Smoking another
West Hobart
by the
is
way.
an inner-city suburb
Delicious.
located in Tasmania, Australia.
What are you smoking? Put it in the
Over
comments.
the years, dozens of allegations of supposed hauntings, ghost apparitions, and other paranormal activity have been made by tourists and residents of West Hobart. And it's honestly not too hard to see why, as West Hobart is a pretty old town with a generally creepy vibe. As is usually the case, most of these stories have either turned out to be fake, or the people making the allegations didn't have enough evidence to support their claims, which makes it almost entirely likely that they're hoaxes. But as it turns out, at least one of these stories actually has some amount of truth to it. Back in the late 80s and mid-90s, rumors started spreading of a house in West Hobart that was apparently so haunted it drove its residents insane.
God.
At first, the rumors created a huge buzz all over town, with the locals doing everything possible to stay far away from the alleged haunted house. It wasn't until months later that the authorities got involved and finally got a clear picture of the situation. While it was true that the house's residents appeared to be going insane, it didn't have anything to do with paranormal activity, but with the fact that a datura vine had been growing through the trees directly above the home and dropping leaves into the family's rainwater tank. For a long time, the family had been inadvertently consuming microdoses of the plant every single day, which made them slowly but surely start to lose their sanity as they sank further and further into delirium.
So you're telling me that
datura is a species of plant within the nightshade
they were
family,
poisoned pretty much by a
Jimson
plant.
weed, the devil's weed, or devil's trumpet, and you'll see why in a second.
Oh, okay.
The plant
We get to
itself
watch.
looks pretty
Okay.
harmless. It's known for having extremely powerful hallucinogenic properties, which is why it was used for centuries by Native American tribes in coming-of-age rituals and other important ceremonies. The Aztecs also used datura as a painkiller in certain rituals, namely in ritual sacrifices, and it's also commonly used as an ingredient in the ritual of zombification in the Haitian voodoo religion, where it's referred to as the devil's cucumber. As you can probably tell by now, datura isn't your typical recreative hallucinogen, and there's a reason why it's really only ever used in hardcore spiritual rituals and ceremonies, and sometimes by naive people who have no idea.
And why did anyone plant this near the house?
In low to medium doses, datura causes extremely distressing, delirious experiences, and in higher doses it can lead to paralysis and even death. Nowadays, datura is recognized by most tribes as a highly toxic and dangerous plant, and have understandably stopped using it.
Wow. I mean, okay.
Before we move on, I wanted to take a minute to talk about War Thunder, the sponsor of this video.
Oh, God. Yeah, I'm not sponsoring another sponsor. Like, nah. Alright, let me fast forward this. Here, yep. I don't know anything about War Thunder. We don't really care. If you're interested in that, I'm just skipping it. Whatever. But who was the butthole that decided to plant that plant near that house, near the watering and system and everything? Okay, so I will say this. Like, that's interesting. like, I get how that can be an urban legend. Like, oh, everybody that goes in that house is crazy. But they also found out the reason why. Would that be an urban legend? Like, an urban legend is a legend. Like, I think a legend would be more of like, we don't really know what happened. I feel like this is more of like what thought to be urban legend turned out to be just funky randomness. That should be the name of the title or the name of the video. I don't know. But I think that's interesting, though, that somebody actually decided to plant this hallucinogen, like, plant near their house. And anybody who moved in just kind of went, you know, okay, whatever. Whatever. I feel like that's kind of a dumb decision. Like, whoever planted that plant, like, needs to be slapped. But all right, whatever. Let's go into the next one. Let's watch this.
The American Vehicle bonus season will end soon.
Yeah.
Next.
There we go.
As the story went, Cropsey was a serial kidnapper and killer who lost his son and resorted to stealing other
I feel like I skipped ahead just a little bit too much, but I really did not want
According
to
to the
sponsor
legend,
another
Cropsey
sponsor.
also had a hook for a hand, scars, burns, and open wounds covering his entire face and body, and a generally horrifying appearance. Considering the mass areas of uninhabited woodlands, it's not all that unexpected that a tale like the legend of Cropsey would make it into the mainstream culture at some point. Unfortunately, this wasn't just a tall tale made up by Staten Island parents to keep their kids from venturing too far into the woods and getting lost. Although the legend has some obviously made-up elements such as the hooked hand and the horrifying scars and burns, at some point in the early 70s, children in Staten Island really did start disappearing. That's when the line between legend and reality.
I hate anything involving
and the
kids
story of the
and
real
disappearing.
Cropsey
Like, it's just
replaced the urban
it's just heartbreaking to me. I don't
This
know.
is
It's
the
just
real story.
a really effed
Andre
up
Rand
thing.
was a man from Manhattan who was born in 1944 and moved to Staten Island in the
Dude,
late
he
60s.
looks like just
After working
bad.
for 2 years at the infamously brutal Willowbrook State School for Children with Disabilities, Rand was arrested in 1969 and served over a year in prison for the attempted attack of a 9-year-old girl. As soon as he was released 16 months later, reports started cropping up of more little girls disappearing all over Staten Island, including 5-year-old Alice Pereira, who was playing in her building's lobby when she suddenly disappeared without a trace.
Dude.
Over the next decade, Rand was the prime suspect in the disappearances and deaths of several other young girls in the area.
Oh my god.
But it
bro.
wasn't until 1983 when he picked up 11 kids from a local YMCA and brought them fast food before taking them to the airport that he was finally arrested and sentenced to 10 months in prison again.
10 months in
Throughout the
prison for
70s and
kidnapping
80s,
children?
dozens of
Oh
other
my
kids
god, like
disappeared
what?
in Staten Island.
The 70s,
Although
right?
Rand was often
It's like
the
a whole
last
different
person
world
to be seen
then.
with them, there was ultimately never enough evidence to put him away for a long time.
Oh, of course
For
not.
many years, he would often be seen hanging around young
The dude
kids,
just
going on walks with
looks
them, and even
guilty.
taking them to lunch and dinner with him in local restaurants. After years of letting him walk the streets as a free man, police would finally have a breakthrough in the case in 1987 when they found undeniable evidence that Rand had been behind the disappearance and murder of Jennifer Schweiger, a 12-year-old girl with Down syndrome. In 1988, he was sentenced to 25 years to life, and while he was behind bars, more and more evidence was found that tied him to several other disappearances in Staten Island in the 70s and 80s. Unfortunately, he was only charged with one additional major crime in 2004, which was the kidnapping of Holly Ann Hughes, thanks to which he will spend the next 13 years behind bars until 2037. If he lives that long, he'll be 93 by the time he gets out.
You know, hang on. I'm gonna pause this here. I have to pause this. You know, before we get out to the main hermit, all right. This is gonna sound kind of like whatever, but I feel like I'm onto something here. Our justice system absolutely sucks. And I'm dead serious. Like, it is the worst. You know, like, I get it. Like, it's only what you can provide in the courtroom that really kind of, like, you know, matters, I guess. And I get it. You're innocent until proven guilty, which is kind of, in some cases, convenient. Now, this is going off a little tangent a little bit. But, like, I moved into this house in the beginning of 2025 because the duplex I was living in, the landlord that was in charge of that place, like, this is a little bit TMI, but, like, I don't care. But, like, he literally tried to kill me. Like, the man was outside my house, banging on the windows, threatening to, like, you know, decapitate and, like, unalive me. I swear, I have all the evidence, everything. I had to call the police about 2 times that day. And then somebody, I guess he posted something on the internet, like Facebook or Instagram, or something about wanting to come over and, you know, do harm to me. And I guess somebody else called the police. Actually, that was my parents. I think it was my parents that actually called, which is like whatever. But like the police were literally at my house or at my duplex 3 times that day. And it took them about a week and a half to finally arrest my old landlord. After I provided video evidence, I had witnesses and all that, it just didn't matter. Like, this guy got away with so much and this was literally he lost his mind. He gave himself like meth-induced schizophrenia or something, and in the record, like if you look him up, I'm not going to give you his name. Like, I know it's weird, I should, but I'm not. But he's literally clinically, like, criminally insane. Like, on the records of looking him up. I actually have a weird, like this picture, if you can see it, like right here, is literally like the surveillance footage of the man like being crazy. And like some people find it weird why I have it there, but I have it there because I survived that. And honestly, it was a freaky time, but I did survive it. You know, it's like, and now I'm waiting on a court hearing and everything just to get this asshole just put away, because he's going to just do harm to somebody else. Like, he's actually running around my town somewhere. We have a no contact. I know this is a TMI. Not using any names, not using anything crazy, and I know you can barely see the picture behind me. But in this video, like, this dude, it literally got away with, I mean, he didn't get away with it. They finally got him, and then he's finally rotting in prison where he belongs until, what year was it, 2037? Which is like 11 years from now. And, some shit like that. Yeah, I can do math. Ha! But, dude, it took them forever just to catch him. But, like, it's like everything tied to him anyway, but they just kept letting him go. Like I said, our justice system sucks. And I know this is probably, like, completely off subject, but I had to kind of spit that out a little bit. Our justice system is bad. You know, you don't have to put your name or anything, but, like, let me know if the justice system has failed you ever. Because it's kind of failed me a few times, and I'm kind of sick of it too, but it is what it is. But we got to abide by the law and the rules, right? You know, it is what it is. But, you know, on to, like, more of, like, the main hermit. Let's see what this is about. Let's see what's going on.
The Kennebec Valley is one of the most beautiful regions in Maine, with over 5,000 square miles of forests, rolling hills, and natural paradise surrounding the Kennebec River. Many cabin owners of the North Pond area in the Kennebec Valley have described the area as the most peaceful place on Earth. But it hasn't always been that way.
It looks peaceful.
All throughout the 80s, 90s, and early 2000s, there were reports of over 1,000 break-ins in the North Pond cabins. For decades, nobody knew who was responsible for the thefts, especially since they were always carried out when there was no one home. As the cabin owners soon noticed, the break-ins seemed to follow a pattern, always peaking in the days before Memorial Day and after Labor Day. As for the stolen items themselves, they ranged from food to cooking utensils to books to propane tanks to toiletries of all kinds. In the absence of a concrete suspect, the locals eventually named the thief the North Pond Hermit, even though by this point there was nothing to suggest the break-ins were being carried out by a single person. Although it wasn't uncommon for groups of homeowners to venture out into the woods to try to find the North Pond Hermit, they never found a trace, which only added to the legend's mystery. One afternoon in 2002, 100 people attended a North Pond homeowners meeting, and when someone asked how many of them had suffered break-ins, almost all of them raised their hands. As you can probably guess,
I can't believe this place actually stayed open.
Somewhat of a boogeyman, with the legend frequently being shared over campfires in the area. For years, nobody thought that the person or people behind the break-ins would ever be found. But in April 2013, a man named Christopher Thomas Knight was arrested in the middle of the woods in the North Pond area by an officer who had made it his sole mission to bring the thief to justice.
You go, buddy.
As soon as he was brought to the police
the officer,
station,
not this guy, but you know.
He wasn't answering any of their questions. At first, it seemed as though he was having trouble speaking, but eventually he responded that he was ashamed of himself. As it was later revealed, Christopher had been living out in the middle of the woods by himself in an unheated nylon tent, surviving only on the things he stole from nearby North Pond cabins. Shockingly, he had survived winter temperatures of 20 degrees below zero for years and hadn't been to a doctor or taken any medicine for 3 decades. What's most incredible about the hermit's story is that for the entire time he lived in the woods, he didn't have a single conversation with another human being, except for one time when he ran into a hiker and only said hi.
That
Chris had lost interest
creepy.
in keeping track of time, so when he was asked how long he had been in the woods by himself, he replied, since the Chernobyl nuclear meltdown, which took place in 1986.
Damn.
As investigators later found out,
I was in a band called Chernobyl back in my high school days. That's kind of weird.
Although he never gave the authorities a real reason why he decided to disappear. In all his years of isolation, he went to extreme lengths to preserve his privacy. He never lit fires, only moved at night, and hadn't had any kind of communication with the rest of society for more than half of his life. He'd never driven a car, sent an email, or even known what the internet was until his arrest. Interestingly, as the cops dug deeper and deeper into his story, they realized that his only real possessions were his glasses, which he had been wearing for 30 years and could even be seen in his Lawrence High School yearbook picture from 1984. Everything else down to his underwear and jacket had been stolen. After the investigation, Knight was sentenced to 7 months in prison, after which he once again disappeared. According to the cops, he's now living a quiet, peaceful life in rural Maine.
Man, you know, okay, like,
Purple Key.
hang on, let me pause this. This is, that's an interesting one. That's kind of, I feel like that's kind of like a mental disorder, like the super, super beyond fixable social anxiety, maybe. I can't, you know, you'll never know, and I don't really want to look into it, but I wonder how he survived in jail. Like, he probably didn't say a word to anybody. He probably just ate lunch in the corner or something. I don't know, but like, something must have happened to him that traumatized him to a point where he just really just did not want to be near people. And he didn't harm anybody in that cabin. He just kind of took what he needed to survive. I'm not justifying this at all. Like, I'm not saying stealing is okay, but at least no one really got hurt in this video. Like, he's not kidnapping children like the last jackass, you know, but like, this guy seriously just had some kind of social anxiety disorder really bad, to the point where he felt more comfortable living in, like, off into the woods somewhere than being with like a normal civilization. That's interesting. That's kind of crazy. The fact that he probably went a really, really long time without saying a word. It's amazing he can talk at all, because I know, like, after a certain time, like, your vocal cords, like, I don't want to say freeze up, but like, if you don't exercise them, I don't know. I think you actually kind of just like lose your voice, and like hearing your own voice sounds almost like you almost sound like a stranger to yourself, which is kind of neat. It's weird. I talk to everybody. I've never met a stranger. It's weird. Like, I'm not the most antisocial, but I'm not the most social either. It just depends on how I feel during the day. If it were up to, like, I go out to restaurants all the time by myself, and I'm cool with just sitting there reading my Kindle app or whatever. But it is what it is. But the thing is, like, this guy went 30 freaking years. Damn. What a trooper. Okay, all right. Well, let's watch the Purple Aki? Purple, whatever. Let's dive into
The
this.
late 1980s and 90s, rumors of a massive bodybuilder called Purple Aki began to surface in the northwest of England. According to the allegations, Purple Aki would supposedly walk the streets of Liverpool hunting down young muscular men and rugby players, and oddly asked them if he would let them feel their muscles. If they complied, he would allegedly squeeze their muscles for much longer than was considered socially acceptable, and would then ask them to perform squats so he could feel their quad muscles. Some teenagers reported that Purple Aki even went as far as to ask them to pose for him, and
I'd be like, dude, get away from me.
Gave him the time. Because the rumors were so incredibly ridiculous, nobody really took them too seriously at first, and eventually the story of Purple Aki turned into an urban legend, with crazy details being gradually added to the tale, including one where Purple Aki would allegedly swallow teenagers whole if they let him feel their muscles. But as time went on, it became clear
Who the
that
hell is
Purple
this
Aki
guy?
wasn't just a made-up character created by bored teenagers looking to get some laugh from their friends, but a real person named Akimul Arobic. Aki was often seen traveling across England by train carrying plastic
this one's
bags and
creepy.
asking young
Like, this is, like,
men if he could feel
unsettling.
their muscles. Naturally, this made a lot of people uncomfortable, and it wasn't uncommon for Aki's face to be featured in local newspapers after several encounters with the law. Most of the accusations against him were related to his creepy behavior around teenage boys, but around 1986, the story of Purple Aki took a really dark turn. Early that year, 16-year-old Gary Keller was walking home from school when he ran into Purple Aki, who immediately asked to feel his muscles. Freaked out by the weird request, Gary said no and ran away.
Yeah.
Later that same
Good for you,
year,
Gary.
he followed Gary to a local outdoor swimming pool, and when the teenager noticed, he ran to New Brighton train station and jumped onto the railroad tracks to get away from Aki. Sadly, the story ended in tragedy, as Gary was accidentally electrocuted on one of the rails. Considering the
What
whole
the?
thing happened because Gary was being chased, Purple Aki was convicted of involuntary manslaughter, charged with harassing 14 different teenage boys, and sentenced to 2.5 years in prison. In 1988, Aki filed an appeal and complained that the only reason he had been convicted was because he was black. Ultimately, the judges agreed there
Again with the
wasn't
race
enough
card,
evidence to
man.
prove he had been directly responsible for Gary's death, and believe it or not, he was freed and awarded 35,000 pounds in compensation.
Well, there you go.
Between 1988 and 2006,
Because he's
he
black.
was in and out of jail for failing to resist his compulsion to touch, feel, and measure other people's muscles. And in 2003, he was arrested
I don't know, man.
15
Like,
charges of harassment and witness intimidation, for which he was sentenced to 6 years in prison. Just like any other predator, he was also forbidden from waiting outside schools in the area. A few months later, he was jailed for 15 months for getting up to his same antics. Upon his
What
release,
is
he was
with
once
this
again
guy?
arrested a few weeks later in 2010.
He's got like
and
a
2015.
fetish of
After his
muscles.
latest release,
I
he
guess.
reportedly moved to Leeds, where rumors started cropping up that he had passed away during the pandemic. However, those rumors were put to rest when videos started surfacing in 2023 of a key walking the streets of Leeds asking random dudes to, you guessed it, feel their muscles. As of today, Purple Key is alive and well, and will probably continue in the same behavior with or without permission for many years to come.
Okay, hang on. I know I keep pausing this because this is kind of interesting. Look, I wear a suit in these videos, and I'm not putting a picture of me with my shirt off. I'm just not doing that. But I'm in, I don't even want to say it. It sounds really kind of cocky. But, like, I'm in relatively decent shape for a 31, almost 32-year-old guy. You know, like, I have 10% body fat. I work out literally every day. And I'm sorry. I don't give a crap who the hell you are. Don't walk up to me and ask me to flex in front of you. That's... Huh? No, man. Like, oh my god. Like, that's, dude, I would have ran too. I'd have been like, yeah, dude, go away. Like, literally, like, fuck off. Like, go away. No. That's a weird one. I don't know. I feel like, well, I mean, it's not like he's just, like, walking up and grabbing you. Like, he's asking if he can. And then it's kind of like your decision, I guess. Like, hey, yeah, no. If you say no, and if he respects it, like, okay. But if you say, yeah, go ahead, touch my arm, you know, or whatever, that's on you. But, like, I don't know. It's just a weird, he's got, like, not a phobia, but, like, a fetish. Like, a weird, like, muscular, grabby fetish. Yeah, that's that would make, I feel like that would make me uncomfortable. That would really, I feel like, really make me uncomfortable. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I'm all right. Let's go into this one. This is a really weird video. Like, the video we're reacting to is like an urban legend that turned out to be true. This one's interesting. Like, I've never heard of any of these. And like I said, it's like it's just weird. It's just a weird video. And the fact that makes it weird is they're all true, apparently. Like, we're literally seeing pictures of the people. We're watching, you know, whatchamacallit, like, we have video footage and everything. What a weird video. Like, all right, well, let's just get into it.
According to a Swiss urban legend, people have allegedly been running into a mysterious human-like figure in the Freeborg forest in the western part of the country near the town of Malls since the early 2000s. Based on the dozens of allegations that surfaced over the years, the figure has been described as being around 6 feet tall and always wearing a vintage-looking gas mask covering his entire face, a boiler suit, and a cloak. Most people who supposedly ran into the figure reported he or she was completely
like World War
harmless,
II
but this
or
didn't
World
make
War
the
I
encounters any less
thing.
terrifying, and it wasn't uncommon for people to report the figure to the police when their children reported feeling scared. As expected, it didn't take local residents long to start adding their own crazy twists to the story, with some claiming that the creature was the ghost of a mentally unstable soldier, while other popular theories assured it was an alien. For a while, the story was classified as an urban legend.
Alien in
The
a...
mysterious humanoid was given the name Leiloyan, also known as the Ghost or the Hermit of Malls.
I don't know why we have a
Throughout the early
random
2000s,
fireplace.
Leiloyan was mostly the subject of local oral
That was
legend
interesting.
because there was no real evidence to support its existence. But in 2013, the story gained international attention when the Swiss/French newspaper Le Matin published the first ever photograph of Leiloyan, which was sent in by a hiker. After the photograph was published, there was no turning back, as people from all over the country started to make trips to the woods outside Malls for a chance to catch a glimpse of Leiloyan. The last known sighting of
Why?
Leiloyan took place in June 2013.
Why would you? I don't know. I would leave the guy alone.
Marianne Desclous saw the figure clutching a bunch of flowers as she was walking outside. Later that year, Leiloyan's clothes were found in the middle of the woods along with a wooden note titled "The Death Certificate and Will of the Ghost des Malls." In the letter, Leiloyan accused the media of having murdered a harmless being by revealing its existence and turning him into a circus freak. The letter also mentioned that due to the unwanted attention, Lei Loyan had to abandon its daily walks, which were referred to as happiness therapy in the letter.
Oh,
After
man.
the cryptic note was published in the newspaper,
I kind of feel bad for the
concluded
guy.
that Lei Loyan had taken its own life, although this has never been confirmed. As of 2024, nobody has ever seen Lei Loyan's true face, and many people have theorized that the figure was possibly a woman with facial disfiguration who didn't want people to see her, which is supposedly why she wore the gas mask. But this line of reasoning will probably remain unconfirmed forever.
Oh, man, that's really kind of sad, you know?
In the early 70s,
I feel bad for Lei
locals
Loyan.
started reporting that a man dressed up as a bunny had started haunting the residential neighborhoods around D.C., Maryland, and Northern Virginia. Although dressing
Sorry
up
for
as a
them.
bunny
If
in
you can
itself
see the
seems
messages
pretty
popping
harmless,
up, I
what made the
apologize.
encounters a little scarier was that the guy would allegedly threaten children on the street with an axe and frequently vandalize people's property for no apparent reason. Even though sightings of the so-called bunny man were pretty rare, they seemed to follow a pattern, as the man usually appeared in secluded locations where there weren't a lot of witnesses. The story itself has a lot of elements of a typical urban legend, and it's kind of hard to believe, but through my research I found that it's all loosely based on a true story. In 1970, a couple was parked in a driveway close to a bridge on Colchester Road in Fairfax County, when suddenly a random guy appeared out of nowhere, yelled at them for allegedly trespassing, and threw a hatchet at their car. Terrified, the couple left the area immediately before they had a chance to get a good look at the guy. As they reported the incident to the police, they mentioned the guy had been dressed in light-colored clothing and may or may not have been wearing something white on his head. Although the couple never mentioned anything about a bunny in their statement, as soon as the story hit the news, people started claiming that the hatchet thrower had been wearing bunny ears. Pretty soon, rumors of a man in a bunny suit threatening kids in the woods with a hatchet started surfacing all over the DMV area, and as the years went by, the stories got wilder and harder to believe. Over time, the legend of the bunny man has become pretty mainstream, with the bridge on Colchester Road even being renamed as Bunny Man Bridge. As of the uploading of this video, the legend has now been standardized and goes something like this. In 1904, there was allegedly an asylum close to the bridge on Colchester Road. As soon as it was built, a bunch of Fairfax County residents started complaining about the idea of having an asylum full of mental patients so close to their homes, so the authorities supposedly put all the patients in a bus and transferred them to a nearby prison. But on the way to the prison, the bus crashed and all the patients escaped. As the story goes, a few hours later the cops had successfully located and brought back all the patients, except for one guy by the name of Douglas Griffin. This is where the legend gets a little weird. Allegedly,
If
the
it's not
fugitive
already.
patient hid in the woods from the authorities for weeks. As the days went by and the cops did everything to find him, rabid corpses started to appear in the middle of the woods, which led everyone to believe Douglas was eating bunnies to stay alive. Then, one Halloween night, a group of kids were hanging out near the bridge on Colchester Road when they suddenly saw a blue orb flashing in midair. A second later, they were all strung up like bunnies hanging from the bridge.
Come
As the
on.
legend goes, if you go to Bunny Man Bridge on Halloween night at midnight, the same thing will happen to you. Obviously, none of this is true, but it just goes to show how much of an impact the story of the Bunny Man has had on mainstream Virginia, D.C., and Maryland culture. Nowadays, there's even Bunny Man t-shirts.
You know, let's just idolize this. I don't want to call him a freak, but just mentally disturbed
The area
person.
surrounding the railroad overpass near Fairfax Station is now a major attraction for both tourists and locals alike, and will probably remain that way for many years.
Right. Okay. That was interesting. Hang on, let me get out of here real quick. Let me get out of this. Okay, some of those were all right. So, in comparison to the last chilling scares video I watched, this was not wholesome at all. But in comparison, this one, I don't know. Like, this one I felt was easier to watch, and this one was kind of interesting. More like, like, you know, it wasn't like ruining my day. Like, none of this really did. Other than, again, I don't know what it is, but I really don't like when like kids are involved with like you know, certain things. Like, I'm talking like kidnappings and stuff like that. I really don't like that kind of stuff. Like, I'm really not about that kind of shit. But you know, like that guy, I'm sorry, like it took them too long to catch this guy. And I feel like if our, like, again, I'm not ranting about the justice system, I already did that, but like if our justice system was probably a little bit better, a lot of more kids who would have been not as kidnapped and not as, you know, gone, you know. What do I know? But I kind of felt bad for the Lei Loyan lady. Like, that was kind of messed up. Like, she had like nobody really knows. Nobody really knows what happened to her. Like, they assume she died or unalived herself, which is already, like, that's really kind of messed up. Like, if you're that mentally disturbed, like, I'm sorry. Like, I just want to give you a hug. You know, I really do. I really feel bad for you. And, like, it's okay. You got this, man. You'll figure it out. Well, there is help out there for you, and you'll get through it, you know? Seriously. I mean that, you know, honestly. But, man, like I said, like, that lady was probably just screaming for help, and nobody really gave her the time of the day because she was freaky. She scared people. I mean, if you put on like a gas mask, yeah, what do you expect? I mean, I'd even be freaked out. If I saw somebody walking down my street in a gas mask, I'd be like, I'll be inside. Now I'm going inside. Like, screw this. Like, I don't have time for this. But, or I'm not getting involved. Like, I would probably just walk away. But, you know, I don't know, man. Like, this one was definitely weird. Like, a lot of them were kind of strange. Like, I also thought the purple guy, like the guy that would walk around and, like, you know, squeeze people's arms and muscles and stuff. Like I said, if you're willing to let someone do that, that's on you. But all in all, I don't think it's normal to walk up to somebody and say, hey, man, can I squeeze your arms? Can I grab your butt? Like, that's a whole different level of, like that's a weird fetish. And I know, like they said, he walks around the town and everything. I don't remember where he was. Like, what was it, Amsterdam or something like that? Or I don't remember. I don't even really remember where he was. But I remember what he did. I would hate to see what that man's house looks like. What would be in it? What posters would be on the wall? Probably young teenage dudes, like, flexing. Like, yeah, I don't know, man. Like, these were more of, like, disturbing urban legends. You know, I think a lot of these were kind of messed up. Like, a lot of these were kind of, like, really kind of messed up, like, hardcore. Even the Bunny Man. Like, the Bunny Man was even kind of messed up, too. Like, the guy was a mentally deranged person. And, you know, and what really kind of... They weren't kidding in this video about the whole, like, the guy eating the bunnies. I mean, I don't want to sound, like, weird, and this isn't, like, meant to be funny, but, like, would that be, like, cannibalism? I don't know. Like, if you're claiming to be a bunny man and you're going around eating bunnies, like... What the hell? Like, you are, like, literally, I don't even know. This was weird. Like I said, like, it didn't, like, ruin my day. It wasn't necessarily unsettling. It was just kind of more of like a, yeah, I could have went my whole life not knowing about any of these. Yeah, I'll say it. Like, you know, it was an interesting reaction video. Like I said, like, all my reactions are genuine. Like, I think, like I really, I don't know how I feel about these. Like I said, I didn't like any of them. I didn't dislike any of them either. Like, they were just interesting. But yeah, I could have went my whole life not knowing about, like, any of them. Man, like, Chilling Scares is a really decent channel. Like, it does make you feel a certain way when you do watch these videos. Like, like I said, it's just, I know I'm going to go, pretty much after I do this and I actually get off recording this, I'm going to go edit this video. And I know I'm going to, like, go blow up this stogie outside. Like, I'm going to finish it probably in the back porch. But, man, like, I really, like, even though everything we've watched is quite disturbing and kind of interesting and kind of, like, out there, like far-fetched, not even far-fetched, but just out there. Like, really, like, whoa. Okay, what is going on? You know, like, that's the vibe I'm getting from a lot of these videos. But, man, I'll tell you what, these are, like, really kind of interesting to react to. Like, they're really interesting to watch. That, like, this stuff is real. The world is a mess. I think we all can admit that the world is a mess. Again, this isn't like an APB. This isn't like anything like that. This isn't like a broadcast of any sort of whatever. But, like, what a weird world. You know, and, you know, what a wonderful world. Like, I agree with that. The world is also quite beautiful. It is wonderful. Like, I love nature. I love all that stuff. But a lot of things in the world are a bit out there. You know, that'd be the word I'd use. Just kind of like a mess. Like, okay, like, interesting. Like, a lot of weird stuff in this world. I don't know, guys. I don't know. Like I said, you know what? Put in the comment section what you guys thought about these, you know, these urban legends. I thought they were kind of interesting. Like I said, I could have went my whole life not knowing them, but that's just my genuine reaction to them. Like and subscribe to my YouTube channel, guys. Stay tuned for more videos. I'm going to be reacting to more of these because they are really cool. I have friends. Recommend some channels to me to react as well. Like, I would love to react to more than just scary stuff, Godzilla stuff, and Doom and Halo and Marvel. I'm gonna do some Marvel. There's some Marvel fan-made stuff that's really kind of cool, and I'd like to react to some of that for you. But if you have a channel or anything kind of out there that you would like me to watch and react to, feel free to put it in the comment section, guys. I'll definitely check it out, and like, I'll make sure it's genuine. I'll watch one video and see if they have like a whole channel worth of these same kind of like whatevers, and yeah, I'll give you my genuine reaction to all of them. Like I said, it's going to be fun. I'm having a great time doing this. This is so much fun. I hope you guys are liking it as well. Please like and subscribe to my YouTube channel, guys. Stay tuned for more videos, and always remember to have a fantastic day, and I will see you in the next one.